The night shift always stretches longer after 2 a.m. The streets go silent, radios start to hiss between transmissions, and every sound outside the cruiser feels heavier than it should. That night, the fog rolled in low, thick enough to mute the city's edges. Streetlights looked like dying candles, halos of orange swallowed by gray. My partner, Officer Ramirez, had gone quiet 20 minutes ago, staring at the condensation crawling down his window. We were running low on coffee, high on exhaustion. The kind of shift where you start memorizing the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Dispatch came through around 2:46. Unit 12, possible disturbance, 19th and Holloway. Caller reports screaming near the old auto repair lot. I remember the way the voice sounded, strained, like the dispatcher didn't want to say it twice. Holloway had been shut down for years. The old industrial strip, a graveyard of chain-link fences and boarded glass. We'd passed it dozens of times, never once saw anyone there. Ramirez looked at me, half a grin. Screaming at the old shop, huh? Probably kids messing around. But his laugh didn't land. Something about the radio static under dispatch's voice made the air feel off. I acknowledged the call, started the engine, and the cruiser groaned as we pulled out of the lot. The wipers squeaked slow over the windshield. It was raining, but not enough to wash the dirt away. Just a thin drizzle that blurred reflections across the asphalt. We turned off Main, past the shuttered diner, the empty bus stop. Every block got darker, quieter. The kind of quiet that eats sound. I tried checking the MDT for the call log. The screen glitched, flickered once, and the entry disappeared. I thought it was a software hiccup. Ramirez swore under his breath. The GPS arrow kept spinning, like it couldn't lock onto our location. Still, we knew the way by memory. 19th and Holloway, just 3 turns past the old train yard. The closer we got, the worse the interference got. First, it was the usual static, then a low hum, deep and rhythmic. It didn't sound electronic. It sounded organic, like breathing through a speaker. Dispatch, confirm location for Unit 12. I said, but the transmission bled into static. A faint, delayed echo of my own words came back, distorted, slower. By the time we reached the intersection, all the streetlights were out. Just the cruiser's headlights slicing the fog, twin cones of pale light fading into gray. The auto shop was ahead, corrugated metal walls, a collapsed roof, graffiti scarring the front gate. The sign still read, Holloway Auto Service, letters hanging half off. We parked, lights still on. I stepped out. The ground was slick, small puddles rippling, even though there was no wind. The air felt thicker here. I could hear my own pulse, and beneath it, a faint echo of something metallic. Ramirez scanned the lot with his flashlight. The beam cut across an open chain-link fence. The lock snapped long ago. On the other side, a figure might have been standing, or maybe it was a shadow against the fog. I blinked and it was gone. Probably nothing, I said out loud, mostly for myself. The radio popped again. A burst of static, then a voice. A woman's voice, trembling, almost whispering. Please help me. I froze. Ramirez looked at me, eyes wide. Dispatch, confirm last transmission. I said, but all that came back was dead air. I checked the frequency, still our assigned channel. No response. Ramirez reached for his handheld, but it was already hissing, caught in some endless feedback loop. The noise built, higher, sharper, until it cut off completely, like someone had unplugged it mid-scream. Then silence. Not even rain, just our breathing. I climbed back into the cruiser, trying to pull up the call data again, but the screen was blank. The log of the 19th and Holloway call was gone. No record. No timestamp. Ramirez leaned closer to the dashcam feed. The display was frozen. Our headlights caught mid-beam. The timestamp locked at 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 14 seconds. I tapped the housing. Nothing. The image didn't even flicker. That's when the radio crackled one last time. A whisper, low, ragged, close to the mic, "You're not supposed to be here." Ramirez turned off the engine without a word. We sat there listening. Somewhere in the fog, metal scraped against metal. A slow drag, like something heavy being pulled across the lot. Then, faint footsteps. Not hurried, just steady, circling the cruiser. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The spotlight flickered on its own, cutting a white line through the dark. It passed over the fence again, and for a second, I thought I saw someone standing there. But there was no face, just the outline of a uniform. Then the power died. The cruiser's power never came back. No dashboard glow, no radio hum, not even the faint buzz of the alternator. Just dead. Ramirez tried the ignition twice, silence. My flashlight beam trembled as I opened the door. The fog swallowed everything beyond 20 feet. Even our headlights looked dull, like the air itself was absorbing the light. I noted the time manually, 3:04, since the onboard clock had frozen with the dashcam feed. The lot looked different now, larger somehow. The fence line that had been maybe 50 yards away now seemed twice that distance. The outlines of the buildings were hazy, shifting with every blink. Ramirez called out, voice low. It didn't carry. The sound just stopped a few feet away, like the fog was made of fabric. We decided to check the auto shop on foot. Procedure said to report location before entering, but the radio was gone. Every attempt just came back as white noise, faintly pulsing like a heartbeat. My bodycam light blinked red, recording. We crossed the lot slowly, boots sinking into damp dirt. There were prints, not fresh, but not old either. Some looked human. Others didn't. Wider spacing, no tread pattern, just smooth impressions. Inside the shop, it smelled like rust, mold, and burned rubber. A puddle stretched across the floor, thin and still, reflecting our lights like a black mirror. The metal door behind us creaked and then slammed shut. Not wind. Too heavy. Ramirez turned fast, gun half drawn, breath visible in the cold air. I said nothing, just listened. A faint dripping from somewhere above, echoing in slow rhythm. The camera picked up intermittent interference, horizontal static lines running through the feed. Unit 12, entering structure at Holloway. I tried again, voice calm out of habit. Static. Then a response, broken. Unit 12, copy, negative ID. Not dispatch. A male voice, slower, off tone. Ramirez shot me a look. I shrugged. The radio clicked once more, louder this time, followed by a sound like a cough right next to my ear. I turned, nothing. We advanced deeper. The shop opened into a service bay, rusted lifts, scattered tools, a broken office window. The beam of my light caught movement above the bay, a shape ducking out of sight on the catwalk. Ramirez swore quietly, motioned for me to cover the stairs. The metal rungs groaned under my weight, each step sending echoes through the empty space. But halfway up, the noise changed, like someone else was stepping in sync with me. Not behind, beneath. The puddle below rippled once. The bodycam's audio spiked at that moment, peaking with a sound analyst later described as low-frequency distortion of unknown origin. The footage blurred, a single frame showing what looked like a second pair of legs beside mine, darker, thinner. Then it corrected. I reached the catwalk. Empty. Just dust, cobwebs, and a single light fixture swinging gently. Ramirez was below, scanning the corners. He pointed toward the back office. There, he mouthed. The office door was open, faint light spilling from inside. Pale green, the color of old monitors. I climbed down, every step slower than the last. My breath started fogging inside my mask. The closer we got, the louder the interference in the radio became, like something feeding off our proximity. Inside the office, a desk sat overturned. Old papers covered in oil stains. An unplugged computer monitor glowed faintly. Ramirez stepped closer. The screen flashed once, then lines of text appeared. 19th and Holloway. Responding unit, 12. Time, 3:12. Status, lost signal. We both froze. The text shifted, letters rearranging themselves as if being typed in real time. Who is watching you? I reached out to unplug it, but before I touched the cable, the monitor went black. A low tone filled the air, not from the computer, but from everywhere at once. The lights flickered. The puddle outside rippled again. My radio burst to life. Unit 12, report. Ramirez, it was dispatched this time, but the audio was fragmented. I answered quickly, this is 12. We're inside the structure. We need backup. Radio interference. Static swallow the rest. Ramirez was staring toward the door. His light trembled. Someone's out there, he whispered. I moved beside him, scanning the doorway. The fog had thickened, gray-white, almost luminescent. A figure stood just beyond the threshold, shape human, but proportions wrong. Too tall, shoulders too narrow. My flashlight beam flicked over it. Nothing. The space was empty. Then, behind me, Ramirez shouted. I turned, and he was gone. His light, his footsteps, his voice gone. Only the sound of his radio clattering to the floor. I called his name twice. No response. The puddle stretched further now, creeping closer to my boots, reflecting two beams of light where there should have been one. I took one step back. Then the door behind me slammed shut. The door slammed behind me so hard the walls shuddered. Dust fell from the ceiling, fine gray mist hanging in the beam of my flashlight. I turned, pulled on the handle. Locked. I kicked it once. Nothing. The sound didn't echo. It stopped, like it hit a wall of air. Ramirez's radio still hissed on the floor, faint bursts of static looping the same half-second noise. I knelt, picked it up. The display was blank, backlight pulsing like a heartbeat. Ramirez, I said into it. Silence. Then breath. Not mine. Slow, damp, close. It filled the frequency, swelling until the radio cracked with distortion. I dropped it. The sound didn't stop. It was in the room. My flashlight flickered, beam thinning until it was just a ghost of light. Shapes moved beyond it. Not solid, but like heat shimmering on asphalt. A smell filled the space. Iron, oil, something burnt. My camera feed stuttered. For one frame, Ramirez was standing in the corner, head down, face shadowed, then gone. I called again, louder. The air vibrated when I spoke, like my words hit something invisible. I heard a scrape behind the desk, something dragging across metal. I aimed the light. Nothing. Then the sound again, closer. A handprint bloomed on the wall. Wet, fresh, but there was no one near it. Another print appeared beside it. Higher. The pattern climbing upward like something crawling across the surface. I backed away, breathing hard. My chest ached, each inhale sharp, ragged. The static built again, louder this time, spilling from both radios, the body cam, the broken monitor, all at once. It wasn't random noise anymore. It had rhythm, words buried under distortion. 12, still here. Can you see me? My own voice. I froze, played it back in my head, same inflection, same pause. My body cam caught it live, not playback. Something was feeding my voice through the equipment. I shut the radio off. The static didn't stop. I switched the camera off. The static got louder. A cold wind rose from nowhere, carrying dust in circles. The puddle outside the office door began to tremble, then spread, as if the floor was breathing. I moved toward the door again, forced the latch. It gave. The hinges shrieked as it opened into darkness. My light barely cut 10 feet ahead now. The fog was thicker, alive, rolling low like it had weight. Somewhere deep in the building, something metallic hit the ground. Once, twice. Then footsteps, slow, steady, deliberate. Not running, not hiding, just coming. I called out, "This is Officer Miller, 12th Precinct. Identify yourself." The sound didn't travel. It fell flat, eaten by the fog. The footsteps stopped. Then, closer than before, a whisper. "We already did." My flashlight sputtered. I smacked it once. The beam came back just long enough to see a figure at the edge of vision. Ramirez again. Or what looked like him. Same uniform, same build, but his head tilted at a wrong angle, chin almost touching his shoulder. His mouth moved, but the words didn't match the sound. The audio in my earpiece was whispering backward syllables, inverted, looping. I raised my weapon, shouted a command I don't even remember. He didn't react, just turned and walked deeper into the fog, his steps perfectly silent. I followed, couldn't stop myself. The air felt electric, thick with pressure. Every light flickered as I passed, the old exit sign, the emergency bulb. They pulsed in sync with my heartbeat. The hallway stretched longer than the building should have allowed. Doors lined both sides, all slightly open, all dark inside. From one, I heard breathing. From another, scratching, faint like nails against concrete. Then all at once, every sound stopped. The silence roared in my ears. I turned, realizing I'd gone too far. The doorway behind me was gone. Just endless corridor fading into smoke. My camera light died completely. I was blind. Only the soft buzz of interference filled the dark, like it was crawling under my skin. Then hands, cold, wet, gripping my vest from behind. A voice pressed against my ear, too close, too real. You're recording. I spun, fired once. The flash lit the corridor for a split second. Walls smeared with handprints, ceiling dripping condensation, and something standing right in front of me, inches away. The light died before I saw its face. My ears rang. I stumbled backward, tripped over a cable. The floor felt soft, sinking slightly beneath me. I hit the ground hard. My camera clicked back on by itself. The feed showed static, then my own face, close up, as if someone else was holding the lens. I scrambled up, disoriented. The body cam was still strapped to me. The image on the feed smiled. Then the signal cut. All lights went out. Only one sound remained, a slow, steady breathing that wasn't mine. And then, beneath it, faint but clear, the radio whispered. Unit 12, report last known position. 19th and Holloway. Department record. Internal use only. Case ID. Hashtag 12-411, Holloway. Subject. Disappearance of officers Miller and Ramirez. Date. November 14th, 2022. Compiled by Sergeant L. Kavanaugh, Internal Review Division. Summary. At approximately 2:46 a.m., Unit 12, Officers D. Miller, R. Ramirez, was dispatched to investigate a disturbance call at 19th and Holloway, an abandoned industrial property, formerly Holloway Auto Service. Dispatch logged a single report of screaming. The call record was later found missing from the system. Officers acknowledged the call, departed HQ at 2:48. Their cruiser GPS lost signal at 2:53. No further confirmed contact was made. Transcript, radio record, partially recovered. 3:02, Miller. Dispatch, confirm location for Unit 12. We're en route to 19 and Hollow. Signal distortion. 3:03, unknown voice, not supposed to be here. 3:04, Ramirez, say again, dispatch. 3:05, long static. 3:06, Miller, looks empty, fog thick, signal dropping. 3:12, unknown voice, female, help me. End of transmission. No further verified transmissions received from Unit 12. Attempts to re-establish contact failed. Backup units were dispatched at 3:37. Arrived on scene at 3:54. On-scene findings, 3:54 to 5:12. Patrol units 4 and 19 reported cruiser 12 parked near the entrance to the Holloway lot. Headlights off, keys in ignition. Vehicle battery dead. Dashcam frozen. Timestamp 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 14 seconds. Audio log corrupted. Faint static and intermittent breathing patterns detected. Both body cams recovered from the interior of the structure, in separate locations, approximately 40 meters apart. Officer Ramirez's camera contained 24 minutes of footage, ending abruptly at 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 29 seconds. Final frame. A blurred silhouette in fog. Timestamp overlay glitched between 3:14 and midnight. Officer Miller's camera recorded for 52 minutes. The majority consists of visual static and ambient noise resembling low-frequency mechanical hum. However, forensic audio recovered 19 seconds of intelligible sound at the end. Miller's voice, whispering, "Still here. Can you see me?" Unidentified voice, overlapping. "You're not supposed to be here." No biological traces of either officer found. No signs of struggle, blood, or exit footprints. Environmental sensors indicated anomalous EM spikes inside the structure, peaking at 3:12 a.m. Surveillance from nearby traffic cams show fog thickening rapidly in a 300-foot radius around the lot at the same time. Exhibit C. Excerpt from bodycam audio, forensic enhancement log. 3:09, faint dripping. 3:10, metallic scrape. 3:11, Ramirez, someone's out there. 3:12, dispatch. Unit 12 report. 3:13, low-frequency distortion, described as resembling reversed human speech. 3:14, unclassified tone at 29 Hz, not radio capable. 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 29 seconds. Recording terminates. Department memo, unauthorized copy. Internal note, officer statements, Unit 4. We found the lot cold, but there was this hum in the air, like the transformers were alive again. I swear I heard someone calling from inside when we searched, a woman's voice, same one from the report. But there was no one there. Just fog. Felt like it was listening. Evidence status. Cruiser number 12 impounded. Both body cams in forensic review. Case 12 FC19. Radio transmissions archived. Section 3 encryption anomaly unresolved. No next of kin statements released pending closure. Conclusion temporary. Both officers officially listed as missing in action. Case remains under federal observation due to electronic interference and equipment malfunction consistent with prior unclassified events. Further investigation recommended. Note: at 2:46 a.m. on November 17th, 3 days after initial disappearance, dispatch received an automated distress ping from the same address, 19th and Holloway. The caller ID displayed Unit 12. When playback was initiated, the following message repeated 5 times before cutting to static. "This is Officer Miller, 12th Precinct. Request backup." Signal traced to no active device. Closing entry. Case reopened under Provisional Code Shift 19H. All responding units advised: do not engage. Do not enter the structure alone. Signal now reoccurring nightly between 2:45 and 3:15. Origin remains unknown.